What if cinema isn't something you watch, but something you subconsciously read? And what if every frame, every cut, every silence was a word in a language most people never learn to speak? And if you love film, I mean truly love it, why does it feel like the more you learn, the less you know? And once you start to read every film you watch, your experience as a spectator will never be the same.
I'm not a numbers person. I make movies and I love making movies and telling stories, and the numbers, we're all the beneficiary of success if films are successful, but the numbers don't matter to me. I mean, as much as the audience approving, liking, remembering, and even years later recalling.
Cinema's a language, a universal one, yes, but not an easy one. It's not taught in classrooms the way grammar or verbs are.
I mean, if you think about fictional cinema, when you go see most action movies, you got a pretty safe bet that the protagonist isn't going to die. And you certainly know he's not going to die in the first 10 minutes. So you still have suspense. If it's done right, you're still very wrapped up in those same dilemmas that intellectually you shouldn't be.
It is best practiced by trying to speak it. Most grown-ups are newborns in the language of cinema. You learn it by watching films, all kinds of films, by feeling the beats in the story, by failing to communicate the idea you once wrote on a piece of paper onto the screen. A close-up isn't just a shot, it's a confession, a message carrying emotion. A cut isn't just a transition, it's a heartbeat in the body of work behind every project. Every director, every true filmmaker spends their life trying to become fluent in this complex yet poetic language we call filmmaking.
You don't have to know how to make a movie. If you truly love cinema with all your heart and with enough passion, you can't help but make a good movie. You don't have to go to school. You don't have to know a lens, a 40 and a 50 and fuck all that shit. Crossing the line, none of that shit's important. If you just truly love cinema with enough passion and you really love it, then you can't help but make a good movie.
The thing about filmmaking is, you never graduate. No matter how many theses you deliver, you'll never master all the different notes that need to be structured to compose the perfect visual symphony combining moving pixels and sound waves. You don't master cinema, you listen to it, you chase it, you try to keep up with this always changing medium before it makes you feel like a novice for the 10th time in your career.
Because directing isn't just where to put the camera. I mean, I thought it was for years. I thought I was getting jobs because I knew where to put the camera better than anybody else of my generation when I was 22 years old. And that's just style, and it's the content that I think it makes the major impact. I think there is such a thing as a bad storyteller. For me, it's always gone back to how strong the script is, and can you tell the story? And I think a bad director is someone who starts off with a wonderful script and does everything possible to ruin it.
For this, you study the greats. Nolan, who speaks in time with broken and complex narrative structures, intertwining the epic with the mundane. Spielberg, who speaks in emotion, curating everlasting characters and adventures forever poignant in childhood memories of many generations. And Tarantino, who speaks in rhythm with dialogue spoken like poetry by characters that feel both heroes and villains, friends and foes that will make you laugh, cry and shiver with their presence on screen. All of these artists with musical compositions that pair everlasting moving pictures to religiously spiritual musical scores that tattoo sequences into your memory forever.
Alan, this species of Variformin's been extinct since the Cretaceous period. I mean, this thing isn't on this thing. What?
It's a dinosaur.
Welcome.
to Jurassic Park.
And even then, you realize these geniuses are still learning to push their vision out to audiences in different ways with each new film they produce. Because cinema, like any living language, evolves with time and technology. Every new camera, every new edit, every new voice adds a word, a dialect, a new way to be understood. When sound was introduced in 1927, it inspired filmmakers to tell stories differently. And nowadays, one single person with a phone can write, film, edit and distribute a film anywhere in the world. And the language of film keeps evolving.
I think it's really about sticking to your guns and doing something you passionately believe in rather than trying to appeal to some desire that you imagine other people have for what they want to see in a film. I think you have to be true to your own passion and your own sense of what excites you as a storyteller.
There's a moment when you stop watching films and you start listening to them. You start reading the narrative beats and creative decisions behind the final product on the screen. You begin to ask yourself these questions. Why did that shot linger? And why did that music stop there? And why did I choose that music? And why did that silence say more than the dialogue ever could? You stop being an audience member and you become a translator, an interpreter. And once you cross that line, you never go back. Cinema humbles you. It combines all art forms at once. Music, writing, acting, photography, painting, sculpting, and it compacts them to one small 2-hour package. It reminds you that art is not about control. It's about surrender, about being open to change, but also respectful to the great artists that came before you. Every project that teaches you a new word, a new accent, or expression you hadn't heard before. Every mistake, a new tool that is perfected for future uses. And when you finally think you've learnt it all, you realize the language has changed again with a new technological advancement shaking up the industry.
I really look at it as, who is daring to buck the convention and really tell stories in a language that they have founded. I mean, those are the kind of movies that really excite me.
So maybe the question was never how to master cinema, but whether you can spend your life falling in love with a language you will never fully speak. Let me know how many films you read in the last month in the comments below. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon to get the notification when I release the next video on my channel. And go and check my last video here about dopamine versus serotonin in our brains. See you on the next one.